Pitso Msimane or Nazareth Nabi? Well, people are inserting a third name in the hat and they are saying not Pitso, not Nabi, but Ernst Middendorp. Don't click off. Some people have a point in saying this. And what do I actually think about this? Because obviously it's a YouTube channel about Kaizer Chiefs, so I must have an opinion. And what do I think about Ernst Middendorp? I think Ernst Middendorp, when it comes to coaching a big team like Kaizer Chiefs, he has the head to manage the dressing room. But then again, someone will say, what do you mean he has the head to manage the dressing room? Because we're talking about the same coach who couldn't manage Eric Matoho and Itumeleng Khune back in 2020 when those guys were going out partying during lockdown. So what do you mean that this coach is good enough or has the head to coach Kaizer Chiefs? Well, because if you look at him and how he is not afraid to say what he thinks about the performance of the players and about everything that is happening with the club, then you look at that and you say, that is something that Johnson and Unsegi have lacked. But just because the other two coaches have lacked that, that does not mean he has enough of it to come and coach Kaizer Chiefs. And what do I mean by that? Because he's not a stable coach, is he? Because you look at the jobs that he has had from Middendorp United all around South Africa, it's just like he doesn't finish 2 years. And someone will say, but Mpilo, how could he even finish 2 years? Because we're talking about a coach here who has been moving around clubs because he's trusted, because he rescues teams. Like right now, the Cape Town Spurs are looking like a team that could be rescued from relegation, and that is thanks to Ernst Middendorp. But I think that the problem comes with Middendorp when he coaches Kaizer Chiefs is the fact that Cape Town Spurs are underdogs. Middendorp United, when he went to them, they were underdogs. Swallows even, underdogs at the time. So he's coming to rescue the team. He's coming to give defensive stability. You understand? So if a team is stable at the back and you capitalize in scoring crosses or corners or in set pieces, then that's golden. Middendorp will give you that. But the problem comes when you are now a team like Kaizer Chiefs and you are chasing after a title. And if you are chasing after a title, you cannot just depend on being solid at the back. Yes, I know the old saying, what's this thing? Strikers will win you matches, but defenses will win you championships. But the problem is, with Middendorp, his system is so focused on being defensively sound and being able to score goals when you get chances. What if we are now playing against teams that are defensively sound, so they are playing the same strategy that is also playing? What do we do then? Then that's where we have a conundrum, because now how are we going to break down the defense? Because what we are depending on is crosses and corners and all of these other things, and that is where Middendorp struggles. And you look at the fact that, or at the situation that actually happened when he was coaching Chiefs in 2020. He started the league like a man possessed. Abo Nukovic scoring goals for fun, doing all of these things, having one of the best striker season of Kaizer Chiefs since Unole Jimsona. But all of a sudden, he just fell off. What happened? Number one, there was over-reliance on crosses, and teams started realizing that, hey, if we can just stop the supply to Nukovic, he's done. And then there was no supply to him, and then we're done. COVID also happened. The ill discipline of our players also happened. But in a word, you could also just say Kaizer Chiefs at that point were figured out. Now, do we want to bring a coach for the third time and say, you know what, third time is a charm? Because he came to Chiefs the first time around, and players who were playing very good football, expressing themselves like Aboskara Ngobese, found themselves losing a place in the Kaizer Chiefs squad. And that was a problem that I also have with Ernst Middendorp, because you cannot come to Kaizer Chiefs, a team that was playing, it was a very well-oiled machine at the time. Quality players were there, they were expressing themselves, the team was not in any droughts, they were just changing coaches. And all of a sudden you take out the players that were key in the team, and you are not actually necessarily replacing them with better players. And you are not also necessarily saying, it doesn't matter, I replaced this player, but I've brought on a better player. Because, for example, if you say, or you take someone like Mikel Arteta, right? He's coaching Arsenal right now. He replaced Aaron Ramsdale with David Raya. Now, a lot of people who support Arsenal were like, what is he doing? Why is he replacing a coach who has a player a goalkeeper was doing relatively well. But when Raya now shows that he has better distribution, Raya now shows that he saves penalties better, or he comes in clutch moments, then Arsenal fans are like, we understand why this happened, right? They also understand why a coach like Guardiola would bench, say, Zinchenko and play João Cancelo as a left back while there is a natural left back in the team. Why is that? Because João Cancelo is offering you way more, because he's crossing, because he's inverting and doing other things that the other natural left backs are not doing. So we understand if that's the situation where you are benching Uskara but you are bringing in someone who's better than Uskara. But if you're going to bench someone and not replace him with someone better, then the question is, what are you doing? Do you understand what you're doing? People will say, Mpilo, you are now talking about ancient things. You are talking about things that happened back in 2007, 2008. What does that have to do with the situation that we have right now? I will say a lot has changed since Middendorp was at Chiefs, but the things that have not changed is the fact that Middendorp has not suddenly evolved into this coach who's playing fully attacking football all the time. And that's the problem that I will have, because he will come to Chiefs, even if he wins games, eventually we will start asking questions. Kandi, what's the kind of football that he's playing? Because right now what we're talking about when we talk about Kaizer Chiefs, we're not just addressing the issue of are we winning, but we're also addressing the issue of how are we winning. And that is why we end up going back to then Unapi would make a good candidate. Because what's the point of having a coach who's just going to win you matches when you know that eventually the question of what is his playing style is going to be raised up? And if that question is still not addressed with a coach like Middendorp, we know coaches don't just evolve overnight and say, now I'm playing attacking football. They make minor tweaks in their systems and they adjust it, but it will still be the same thing. Right now, Pep Guardiola is playing Erling Haaland as a number 9. When Pep first started and was seen as this big coach at Barcelona, he was playing Messi as a false 9. But what was his fundamental thing? We control the ball, we control the space, positional football. We have the ball all the time, right? He evolves, he plays Lewandowski, but he still does what? He's controlling space, he's controlling position. Positional football. At Man City, he starts playing Aguero, a striker, a target man. He changes, he plays a false 9 again, Ngabo Sterling, Ngabo Foden, even with De Bruyne at times. But what's the fundamental thing that he's doing? Controlling space, controlling position, positional football. But even when he plays with full backs that are inverting, what is it doing? Positional football. He plays 4 center backs, what is it doing? Positional football. Tweaks and tweaks and tweaks. But the thing that is not changing in all these things that he's doing is the fact that he's a coach who plays positional football. And it's the same thing with Middendorp. He might have made adjustments in his system and done all these other things, but at the end of the day, he's still not the coach that I think can lead Kaizer Chiefs back to their days where they were winning things and entertaining fans. But what do you think about Middendorp coming to Kaizer Chiefs? Let me know down on the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, Khosi, I'll pay you more.